Welcome to my second tutorial for the Roll20.net and how to use it. I'm Shmoo, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you about the campaign screen. This tutorial might go on for a little bit as there is a lot to cover, and I will not be covering everything in extreme details as I will go over them in depth in future tutorials. So let's get started here. The campaign screen is where you play the game. It's also where the Game Master sets up all the game components. The first thing is the tabletop here. Now it's where this token is where this text is. It's the grid. It's this area here. I'm going to zoom out here with this little pointer or a scroll bar here to show you this is the tabletop. The tabletop can be changed in player toolbar. Next, we're going to jump right here into the toolbar where you have the select and move and the pan and view. Select and move is what's currently selected right now, where I can select this token, I can drag and drop him, I can move him around. I can also use the arrow keys to move him around on the tiles, or the grid, excuse me. And move him around, or I can drag and drop him. That's the select part of it. The move part of it is right-clicking and just dragging around. Holding and dragging around to pan around. Now the pan view is the same thing, only you're left-clicking and you can't select anything. So you don't accidentally select something when you're trying to just look around. Following that, we have a Game Master only tool, which is the layers tool. The objects and token layer is the default layer. It is where the players have, that's their layer. They can't change anything, any other layers. So that's where you place all these tokens, such as this token here is on the player layer. Let me change the selection tool. This is the players, this is on the objects and token layer. Then you have the background layer. You notice how they went foggy, they went gray and faded. That I can't select them anymore. The background map thing layer is for placing maps down and any other stuff you don't want. You want behind the grid here, so you can still utilize the grid when you're on the token layer, and it's so that utilize it so where the players can't access anything other than their assigned tokens and such. It's also so that the Game Master, when trying to move around his tokens, doesn't accidentally move the whole map, because all the tokens would be on the tokens layer. Following that, we have the Game Master info layout. This is for Game Masters only again. It is basically your notes layout. Put something on the map in the Game Master info layout, or in the tabletop, excuse me, and only the Game Master sees it. Anything on this layer the players do not see. I'm going to go back to the object layer, and then we're going to move on to the next part, which is your drawing, your ability to draw. You can draw squares all over that troll that are transparent on the inside. You can draw them where they actually have fills. You can change the size of the stroke. You can change the stroke. Lots of different options. Then you have the freehand where you can just draw. Same thing. The fill and stroke for these are exactly the same. You can either have no fill or no stroke, or either or both. Then you have your polyline. Polyline, click once, click again, click, 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 click. Right click, it fills it, it finishes it. I do not like that color. So you click in and it fills it, finishes it. You add a fill, same effect. That's that. By right clicking, you complete this line. If I click, 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 and I built a box here, and now I want to go to the next one, and I forget to right click, it's gonna, oops, one feature I forgot. If you click the starting point, it finishes it for you. So making a box, if I click here, it finishes it. And you notice, compared to this, you have the rounded edges. It means it's incomplete. The square edges, it means it's complete. I click on the end here, it completed it for me. If I click like this and just right click, it ends it for me. So moving on is a text, such as I have right here, the Shmoo text here. My Twitter. I can't do anything with it right now because I'm going to clear the drawings with the clawing feature. This feature is only for Game Masters. The text here, I'm going to click and I'm going to say, hey, please subscribe. There's all different font sizes and different kinds of font, along with being able to change the color of the font. If you want to make a new one, you just click in anywhere. If you want to re-edit this after you've selected away from it, you have to go to the select tool, double click it, and then you can edit it again. And go capital A. You can move it just like any other object and token. You can rotate it with this thing. This thing up here is always a rotation. You can rotate it however you want. That's the text tool. And that's the drawing section. Next, you have zoom. Zoom is a drop-down menu. You can't click it and then your mouse buttons do different zoom features. It's still on the select tool because that's what I was on last. The zoom just allows you to change the zoom with the drop-down menu. You also have off to the side here the scroll bar for the zoom, which we can go back to 100 here and pan over to there. Following that, we have the measurement tool. So let's say my troll here wants to know how far he can move, how many cube squares he can move if he's got a 30-foot movement. Well, that's as far as he can move right there. How far is he to the S? Well, we'll say 5 to 10 because it's not actually lined up. It measures things. Each cube here is defaulted at 5 feet. You can change that in the page toolbar, but that's the default for Dungeons & Dragons. And so you can measure how far things are from each other. Very simple. The next feature is a Game Master only feature. It is your Fog of War options. Right now, Fog of War is not enabled. To enable it, it is in the page toolbar section, or it is right here. You go to hide revealed areas or hide areas. You click drag, it'll pop up with a nice little warning here saying, window saying, hey, do you want to turn Fog of War on because it's not on right now and you're trying to hide something that's not enabled. You click turn Fog of War on, everything goes dark. Obviously, it's Fog of War. So we're going to go to reveal areas. I'm going to click here and say, oh, look, there's your token. And now you guys need to go and do this. You know, showing the characters what you need to do next. And then if you go, oh, hey, I need this particular hallway mapped out. So you can see it. Look, I just did that right there at the polyline tool. So cool little, you know, features of only doing certain areas revealed, revealing it as an actual full square, or completely and utterly re-hiding the areas. And then lastly, resetting the fog to where it's all covered again. So nice little features with the Fog of War, only showing your characters what you want them to see. Following that, we have turn order button. This is a partial players and mostly Game Master feature. If you click the turn order, it'll pop up for all players, but you have no access to the buttons down here, where you can add players. We have the troll, we have me, we have you, we have a player. Sure. Or you can pneumatically make it descending or ascending. You can alphabetically make it A to Z or Z to A. You can add card systems to it. We'll get to that in the future. Lots of cool little features. And this is your turn order. I'm rolling initiative and such. We'll just say 10 for that guy. And 15 for me. And you guys are 9,000. And the players is 43. I don't know why. And then we want to go descending. So the first person, like in Dungeons & Dragons, the higher number you have, you go first. So you, the viewers, get to go first with your 9,000. Or should that be 9,001? And that's turn order. And then you click the arrow to go to the next turn order. Fairly straightforward. You can delete it. And such. And then you can always add more again. Re-add them and such. You can completely clear the list. That's turn order. Players only see what you add on here. They don't get any options to edit really anything. They can edit their own name, so they can manually enter their initiative into it also. but that's it. After that, we have your dice roller. Everyone gets a dice roller. A dice roller makes it really easy to roll your dice. We have the D4, we have the D6, we have the D8. Oh my goodness, what's popping up on the screen? Holy crap, what is this? It is the 3D enabled dice option, of which I have enabled in our settings. It allows you to roll your dice. It's fairly simple in that aspect. Then you have the advanced roller where you can customize how many dice of what size and what their modifier is, all right here in these sections. And then you roll. Very simple. Then the nice cool feature is it saves your last 10 rolls. So you don't have to re-enter numbers. Let's say you did the advanced roller and I just rolled the D20 and I just changed it to this and then I rolled it, but I wanted to go back to that D12, 3D12 plus 4, so then I can just go and click the re-roll of the past 10 rolls. There it is. Bam, done. So the dice roller, nice features, makes it really handy and fast to roll your dice. Speeds up the game a little, allows you to keep that immersive feeling of being your character and into the game. Following that, we have your help documents. This opens it up into the Roll20 wiki and all the stuff you can learn about Roll20 on your own. This website is a very, very large and complex website. Down to the point where if you pay for the mentor package, which is $10 a month, you could actually program your own macro scripts to where if I wanted this token to be moving back and forth like this, I could program a script, an API script to do it. So I don't have the DM, don't have to sit here moving it back and forth while I'm doing everything else. Instead, it does it for me. Really cool features, and a lot of it's described in here. And then you have your shortcut references for all different kinds of references to keyboard shortcuts. Feel free to look them over and use whatever is helpful to you. It's a personal preference for that stuff. And then you can report a bug if you find anything that's glitching out or whatnot. So that's the toolbar. Then we're going to go on next to the page toolbar. Now the page toolbar, it allows the game master, this is a game master only feature, to add pages. I have pages here. You can go in here and I can delete the page. I don't want it. The player flag shows what page the players are on. You can click it and it'll change to it to edit it. You can click the other one. You can edit these, and so on and so forth. So that's the page toolbar, the general basics of it. Following the page toolbar, we're going to go on to the right side panel here, where we go over the navigation on the top here, and then we have a nice little button right here. The three little lines, it's kind of hidden. It's right on the scroll bar, right next to, between the zoom and the actual text or chat area. Where if you don't want to use the chat or whatnot, or you want to see this full screen more, you just click that and it hides it. And now you can see the tabletop more. Kind of nice feature. I've yet to actually use it because I'm too busy looking at all the roles and whatnot, because I mostly run the games instead of playing a player. But a cool feature still nonetheless. And then we have your chat. This is your chat section. You can say, hey, like my video. In here, where it shows all your dice rolls, as you can see, who rolled what, the different combinations of what each individual dice roll is, plus the modifier, gives you the total. Cool feature here, I can take that dice roll and I can drag it on here. The actual dice itself that you can see, it looks like a dice with a number on it, and you can drag them onto the page here. I'm going to do something really fast. Disable Fog of War. There we go. My color sucks. But you can, there's dice there. Let me change my color real fast, which is down here at the bottom. Roll a die real fast. Actually, we won't use that. We'll do this. We'll do /R 1d20. Look at that. It appears I can drag this red guy here, and there we go. So nice cool feature. Otherwise, there's standard chat commands /W. Start typing somebody's name who's in the Roll20, and you can whisper to them. stuff like that. You can do /whisper game master, and you can whisper to them. Cool things like that. Following that, we have your art library, where I found the troll. You're getting your tokens, your maps, your icons, your backgrounds, your objects, your etc, 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 where you can find all that cool stuff in here. You can also go into the marketplace to buy objects that are a lot more detailed and cooler than just the standard approved stuff from Roll20's Google modified search. Following the art library, we have your journal. This is your player characters character sheet, basically. They have actual character sheet templates. Some of them work, some of them have problems. They're all player made. They're not Roll20 themselves making them. As far as I know, last I checked, that's how it was. I don't use these in my games, but I will try to figure them out for you guys and do a tutorial on them if you do decide to want to use them. I use mythweaver.com for my role character sheets, and then I just add macros and such in here. Otherwise, we have the handouts where you can send mysterious notes to individual players. You can, where, you know, what player's journal does this note go into, who can edit it, different tags for the search bar up here, images you can add to it, the note itself, and then GM notes where only GM can read the notes here. For GM notes for yourself, for little stuff. Players don't see this section of the GM. So that's the character, that's the character journal and the handouts. Following that is the jukebox. The jukebox has two ways again. The players get to see it also, but they only get to control the volume on their side. So if the game master is playing something that's a bit loud, they can turn it down themselves instead of asking the game master to turn it down. The game master gets to add sounds and music from SoundCloud. Remember, SoundCloud has copyrighted music on it because artists like to put their stuff on it, production companies like to put their stuff on it, so do be careful what you're using if you are streaming or putting this stuff on YouTube or any commercialized stuff and you need copyright permission for some stuff. I personally like to use Overtone for a lot of my background music now. They allow you to use their music that they produce because they're a production company, as long as you credit them. You show their YouTube and Facebook page on your sites and your stuff and whatever you're using it for, such as Roll20 here, and you're good to go. You can play it and test it out here. You can also add it to the control panel here to have it for future. The volume control, you can actually edit the text and change it to be more appropriate to what you need it to, knowing, okay, I need to play this then. And then whether you want to loop it or not, and then removing the track. So next we have your decks and rollable tables, I'm sorry. Decks are cards. Decks you can play poker with. I'm honestly still learning decks and rolling tables. I will do a separate tutorial on them once I figure them out because I want to get it right for you. And then you have rollable tables where you can add extra stuff. You can make yourself random rolling tables for your characters. If you say you found an item, now roll this table, or you found a chest, roll this table to see what's in it, kind of stuff. You can set up random encounter tables where the players could roll their own random encounters, or you already have a table set up for your own rolls as a game master. Those are the decks and rollable tables, and then finally we have your settings. The thing with the 3D dice is right down here under my settings. Otherwise, you have more advanced shortcut options. You can put more info to get to the more shortcuts. Lots of different kinds of extra shortcuts. Take a look at them. Make sure that you have this enabled in order to use those shortcuts. Otherwise, you can enable your voice and video options here, and what you receive from others and what you broadcast to others, the size of your window, whether you want it large, small, nothing, or regular. So nice features. And as a game master, you have the campaign settings where you can change the colors of these circles here. Notice how it changed now. If I can, there we go. That's it. You can change the colors of that stuff. And that pretty much sums up the campaign screen of Roll20's campaign screen. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Remember to click that thumbs up button for me. I greatly appreciate it. And share this video with your friends. Also remember to click that subscribe button. It's a very pretty button, and it likes being clicked. Thank you again for watching. As always, I'm Chaotic Shmoo, and I will see you next time.